Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show. I mean, is it? I don't know. I don't know if I even want to call it mayhem anymore. I'll just keep it mayhem. Why switch it? Why change everything? Um. So, how you guys doing today? How was your evening? Hopefully, it was uneventful. I know the stuff on the light bulb that was pretty uneventful, right? Um. But yeah, that's that, and we'll just keep moving. Anyways, how's everyone doing? I'm gonna do a lightweight roll call. I Someone told me yesterday there's a way to slow down the chat. I think there is a way to do that in YouTube Studio. I don't know if you can do that from within StreamYard, but I know you can do it in YouTube Studio. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Hopefully, I'm a little clearer today. I know whoever watched on the replay crew and maybe even yesterday that it was really it's because I streamed yesterday at 480 because I had to update my billing info on StreamYard. So I get the 1080p, the clearer broadcasts. Anyways, can everybody hear me okay? It's not I got to hear your story on the boat. Last time I saw you, I got to hear your story on the boat. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to go down and just say hi to everybody, and then we'll just play it by ear and see where the show takes us. I do want to check in with old boy today, with Judge Fleister. I haven't been able to catch up with them, and so we'll check out some Judge Fleischer here today too. Let me remove that guy. I put this comment up. Craig Williams says she beat him in his own game. Now Tommy will probably play I Got Strung Out and watch me on my road to recovery. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do too, bro. If I kind of lost it and everything. Now, is that? I mean, that's on the road to redemption. It's not, quite all the way there, but just pray for a heart change, and that's it. Good morning, Heather. How you doing today? Thanks for coming in this morning. I always know that you will be there bright and early, and I appreciate that. Venomous Karma, good morning. Good morning, Ghost Rider. Greetings and salutations. Do you know what movie that's from? I mean, I know that's a thing that people say, greetings and salutations, but somebody said it famously in a movie, and he said it just like this, almost kind of like Jack Nicholson. Greetings and salutations. He said it just like that. I'm guessing you know what that movie is. Good morning, Blessed to Crochet. I appreciate you being here today. I haven't checked my emails this morning, but I did return some yesterday. I think there was something in there. There was hundreds and hundreds of emails. So I did the best I could to get back to everyone. Good morning, Jason P. How are you doing this morning? Good morning at work, and popping in to say hello. Please remember to like and share. Thank you so much, Jason P. I really appreciate you, brother. Tremendously. Good morning. I can't say good morning to myself. I am going to start just going by Sam. I do need to change the background thing. This is Casper. If people call me Casper, I'm not going to correct them or anything. I'll just every once in a while say, hey, Casper's, was like my old tag name and street name when I started using, but no one at Microsoft ever called me Casper. So, and I'm not saying I was my best self when I was at Microsoft, but I'm just saying I didn't know I was an addict or had the disease of addiction. Good morning, Sherry. How are you doing today? All right. We'll be expecting you. You said you'll be back. Good morning, Jane Aldrich. I returned your email. Is that right, Jane? Yeah, I think I did. someone sent me a text, saying that you were going to email Tommy too. I don't know why people send me those kind of messages. Like, hey, I just want to let you know Jane's going to email. And they didn't do it in like a negative way. They just did it, So I was like, okay. Oh yeah, where's my coffee? Thanks for there's no way. Where's my coffee? Hold on, I gotta go get coffee. I know I made a cup. Now I made a cup. And then don't worry, I got stuff to talk about, guys, and things to do. Oh shit, where the hell is this? Let's watch John Lazon. All right. That was John Lazone, and that was the old theme song. Maybe still, I'm going to keep that theme song. I don't know. Definitely changed the intro. You guys seen that? Anyway, old dogs, new tricks. That's right. Good morning, Jane. Tan Louis from Great Britain. How's it going? How you doing? And sorry, I wasn't able to do the chat yesterday. It was crazy, right? How is anyone supposed to be able to do that? It was just nuts. But I get it, right? Nutty chat for nutty times. Sierra Terry, how you doing this morning? Good to see you. Good morning, everyone. Look at him. Good morning. And also, I will be. A few people asked him if they could help with the moderating. Just maybe put well, I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out as we go. Okay, good morning. I already said good morning, Sierra. Jean Aldrich. Good morning, Kathy. How are you today? It's good to see you. Good morning, Typer Mama 72. Good morning, Amy. How are you doing today? Good morning, Gaylin. So good to see you. Good morning, Anna Banana. Anna Banana, Anna Banana, Anna Banana. Craig Williams, good morning. Do you think Tommy is all she claims? He's more, he trusts her. And I don't know if I should be stopping and reading these. Like, do I want to do a whole nother show? You know what I mean? Like talking about it. But I'm not saying it's off limits. I'm just saying, there's probably better stuff to talk about. Good morning, DS Kitty. Good morning, Kathy Johnson. Good to see you. Good morning, Woofy. Woofy, how did you do that with your I's and the O's? Does it just let you do that? Can you just insert an emoji into the name? I guess you could, right? I guess you could do that. Yeah, but it's cool. I'm trying to think of a good nickname that had two O's in it. Good morning, the Arabian Bard. Arr. Always makes me want to do that when you do that. Good morning, Paula Tubbs. Good morning, John Lauzon. Good morning. Sorry about that. Good morning. It's crazy. Boho Hobo. How's it going, Rhonda? How are you doing today? Good morning. Craig Williams is going to say how many times he has to become a victim. Lapse in this case. I think that, to get back to this, I got strung out, watched me on my road to recovery. I think there's like a window where he could have done that, right? And we might be still in that window. Who's to judge? God, Smoke Keefe, Smoke F.A. 11. How's it going, brother? You're next to me. Good morning, Mama Bear. How are you doing today? Good morning, Brother B. I'm not live last night. I can't tell you how upset I am. He didn't address anything. Brother B, I feel you on that. Like, some people are upset that he didn't address anything, but are we just like superficially upset so we can you know what I mean, be part of an angry mob on YouTube, or are we like really upset? Are we like, I don't think anyone is like truly upset, like if this is just like if YouTube's like a hobby for people just to like get involved in things and to be, like more than just like trying to be a part of a community like we are with this one. I don't know, when do we quit? And when do we quit like letting like this? I think what it is that people are invested in the recovery with him, and then I totally feel everyone has a right to be like upset. I wasn't trying to take anyone's right to be upset away. Just it's like what I said on Saturday. I feel like I had the right to ask questions just because I'm involved in creating content that could be used to commit fraud or to get money. And so I felt like I had that right. And I'm not saying the viewer doesn't have that right, because you guys had that right, because you guys are the ones who are sending money and things like that, and gifting memberships, which is awesome, Good morning, Layla. How are you doing today? Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Gamer Jackie. Hey, how are you doing today? Anka, how are you doing today? Okay, let's just good morning, I say good morning, Heather Houston. Good morning, my other's keeper. Still being. Good morning, Typer Mama. 72. I already say good morning to you. Good morning, Diane Reese. Pouring rain down in Arkansas. It is pouring rain here too. It was raining, and then when the temperature dropped, it snowed. Then when it got warm, it's raining away all that snow that melted. We had mountains and mountains of snow, and so I'm glad it rained yesterday, because the rain like takes away the snow. Good morning, ADHD. Okay, let's move forward. So, did you guys? Okay, I just want to talk about the Gene Hackman thing a little bit. I talked a little bit about that yesterday. Gene Hackman was a stud, man. He was a stud. I remember him. I think my first movie of seeing Gene Hackman was probably the Poseidon Adventure. The movie where Shelley Winters gained all that weight and she never lost it. Because Shelley Winters was a like a pinup girl, like a sex what do they call it? Like a sex, not a sex fiend. Like she was a sex symbol. Man, you guys are gonna find out sometimes I'm pretty whacked out. But she was a sex symbol. So you know what I noticed yesterday during the live? It looked like I had a cleft lip. I have a sister who has a cleft lip. Or it's like stepsister. But I really look like that. But anyways, I think it's because I was in 480p. But yeah. But now they're saying foul play with Gene Hackman. So like there was a dog that was locked in a closet. The wife was found dead with pills all over the floor in the bathroom, and he was face down dead. So I think, and because I read the not the autopsy, but I read the police report. The autopsy will be here soon. They're, with all the toxicology, that's going to take probably 6 weeks for the toxicology to come back. But I do think that it's one of those, like, what's that movie where like, the fan falls, knocks over this, sends the dog running. The dog runs. Someone trips over the dog because they didn't see the dog coming. I forget the name of that movie, but I think it was something like that. It was just like an X factor of things, like boom, bam, the perfect storm. I really think that maybe the dog started, and this isn't just me think that was coming up with this theory. There's another creator on YouTube. So I think that Gene Hackman, he was in his 90s. I think he fell over the dog, like the dog tripped him or something. He fell, and he's got heart issues. Maybe he was, had a hard time getting up. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's not making all that much more sense to me right now. But I'm gonna run with it. And I think that she went to help him. So she secured the dog in the closet. It's like a little closet, and then went to the bathroom to get some meds and fell down herself and died. There was a reason why I thought that she fell down, and I can't remember it right now. But there was some damage to his forehead, but I think that was just from rigor mortis. And like they're saying, he was mummified, but that can happen pretty fast if the temperatures are right. Because he was there for about 2 weeks, and there was a heater, like a space heater, but that was knocked over. But those all have emergency shut offs if they fall over. So I don't know. I just don't. Hey, ASAP Lizzie. I just don't know if I don't think there's foul play. There's no sign of break-in. Do you know what I mean? There were no bullet holes, no stab wounds. I guess we'll just find out that if there's no evidence of like an actual murder, then it's exactly that. It was just a chain of events that happened that are just super bizarre, right? It's just one of those things, and I think that's, maybe God just said, yeah, he's going to keep you guys together. It could be just that, that, there was no way she could live without him. And, but you never know, maybe their bellies were full of sleeping pills, Ambien or something. And we'll find out when we get the toxicology. Sherry LeBron says, I thought the mods did that. Let me say I'm chatting mods. What do you mean, Jerry? Good morning, Kathy, Connie, and Loudmouth Linda. I love that. My mom's name is Linda. So she is a loudmouth too. That's crazy. But not like an intrusive loudmouth. She laughs really big. You know what I mean? She laughs super big. So yeah, that's funny. I guess she'd be more big mouth Linda. She's got a big mouth, like her actual size of her mouth. And it seems to be getting bigger as she gets older. Good morning, Jeffy. This is the last time you see me, you got to hear my story on the boat. Awesome. Yeah. I also simultaneously streamed it to my channel, my story. So you can find it on my channel. I think it says from systems engineer to drug trafficker to redemption. I think something like that. Good morning, Heather Marie Houston. It's good to see you this morning. Let's go down to new comments. So I think we're just going to kind of like, I'll talk about a couple things, play with the chat a little bit, talk about a couple things. And then tomorrow we're going to start with Germany or Florida. And then I have another game show that I'm going to start tomorrow. And I did figure out how to do polls in the chat, but I have to do it from my phone. So good morning, Natural Ginger. So is the boat sunk? I don't think so. I don't think it's sunk. It still has 26,000 subscribers. I think, I think when you get into the thousands and thousands of subscribers, I'm subscribed to all kinds of stuff that I don't see anymore, but I keep my subscription there just for support of those channels. But I don't watch them anymore. It's like Theo Von, I love Theo Von, but I don't know what's going on with him right now. I don't know if he's touring right now. I haven't seen any of his recent guests. Yeah, I'm doing game shows on After the Bars. It's like radio morning talk show type stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I used to listen to this radio show in in Los Angeles, and it would they would call people. It was called War of the Roses. So they would call people and be like, "Hey, hi, I have this free. Free dozen roses. Where would you like to send it to?" So basically, say if my wife thought I was cheating on her, she would call the radio program and say like, "Hey, I think my husband's cheating on me, and so I want to find out." So what the DJs do is they would call the cheating husband, or allegedly cheating husband, right? And they would call him and they would say like, "Hey, this is 1-800 free roses. Someone put your name in for a dozen free roses. Where would you like them sent?" And so then the guy who could be allegedly cheating, I mean, it's obvious, right? He would either send them to his wife or he would send them to his mistress. It's a free dozen roses. It wouldn't be on any of the credit cards. You could totally get away with it, unless that it was, coming from your wife. Super epic. Dudes got busted in all the time. And man, it was an epic show. It was so fun to listen to. And I used to have to commute. At that time I lived in Laguna Beach. I would have to drive all the way up the coast to LA. And yeah, it was an epic show. So I'm going to do stuff like that, but not like call-in stuff. But you guys get it. Good morning, Beta. You have a question? As you are a tech guy, how much were you surprised by how much the technology changed while I was in prison? Or did you have access to the internet, smartphones, and things in prison? I was really surprised. And I've talked about this a little bit before. It's like, when I was on the bus, they put me on a Greyhound bus for 3 days to go to Hollywood. My halfway house was in Hollywood. And it was called Vinewood. And I get on the bus and everyone's faces are just glowing because everyone's looking. It was nighttime and everyone's looking on their phones. And I was just mesmerized by that. And I knew smartphones existed and they lit up, but it was nuts. But like what I was more tripped out by was storage, and SD cards, how much storage, how much information you can get in such a small device, or something that could store that much storage. Because when I worked at Microsoft, we went and took a tour of IBM, and at IBM they had one of the first hard drives that stored information, and it was a drum. It looked like a barrel, and it was about the size. It was about 8 feet by 8 foot in circumference and or diameter, and so that's pretty big, right? And that thing spun, and the information was stored on that. So it was like a big, it spun and it had a thing that would read it. And that thing was huge. And that thing was 4 megabytes. 4 megabytes. So, and then when I worked at Microsoft, we would have for just 1 gigabyte, you know, the SD cards that have 256 or 128 or, you know, 512 of gigabytes. When I worked at Microsoft, there was a thing made by this company called iOmega, and iOmega made a thing called the zip drive, and they also had one called the Jazz drive. And the Jazz drive disk was about as big as a wallet. Maybe it was thinner, but it was about this size, maybe a little longer. And that had 1 gigabyte. And that disk was about $700 for that 1 gigabyte thing that you stuck into this clunky drive. And it was super slow. It wasn't fast, but you could store a lot of information on there. And then you guys all remember floppy drives. Well, not everybody, but most everyone in the thing, because I look at the analytics and most of my viewers are, you know, 45 and up. The floppy drives, they're like little thin, you know, it was 3.25 or 3.44 megabytes, right? If I remember correctly. It took 3 of those for an operating system called DOS. So DOS fit on like 8 megabytes. The whole program fit on 8 megabytes. And then Windows was like another 10 disks. Windows for work groups was another 10 disks. I know this is boring, but I think it's fascinating. And this is what I tripped out on. So when you wrote a program back there, when, you know, the guys who were writing code back then, they had to be really conservative. There was no room for bells and whistles, you know, for a menu to slide up instead of just pop up, you know, for your options. All those bells and whistles take lines of code, which take more memory and more memory. Now, like there's programs that are, you know, 400 gigs, and that's why they're able to do all the fancy things and do all the things. So I think the people who wrote programs back then, code writers, were better than the code writers are today. I think the code writers back then could have done the same thing what the guys are doing today, but they had less storage to work with. So I just thought it was amazing that that storage is just getting smaller and smaller and cheaper, and that's why we'll be able to. So I can't remember who I worked for, but it was somebody, and they sent us to this AT&T. This is before I worked at AT&T, or maybe it was my orientation at AT&T. But they showed us this video of the future, right? It was this video of the future, and they would show us. It was like, you know, the future per se. And then they had like this helicopter flying, and there was like these paramedics on the helicopter, and they all had, you know, smartphones, and, you know, they're talking to the doctor, and they have someone hooked up to, you know, their smartphone, and it's sending information to the doctor, and the doctor's sending stuff to the pharmacy. And, you know, it was just crazy. And we were just like mesmerized, like, no way. Because we're all engineers, right? We're thinking, no, to stream video, that would take a lot of storage, a lot of capacity to compute. You know, like the CPU would have to have, you know, we didn't know about multi-cores then. You know, we basically we're still dealing with math coprocessors, which is like wouldn't even run a cash register now. So that's what I'm thinking when I'm looking at these smartphones and looking at all that. I'm just thinking, what? And it just kind of blew me away. Yeah, it just blew me away. I don't know, that was probably a little more than what you're asking for, but yeah, super nuts. What else is going on, guys? Remember, if you want to ask a question, put a QQQ or put on wow, ASAP Lizzie. That's a pretty bold statement. You guys had a Commodore 64. So my neighbor had a Commodore 64, and I don't know why he kept it in his garage, but man, he wouldn't let me and his son near it ever. He wouldn't let us near it. We were always like looking at it like, ooh, that's a computer. Yeah. That had a math coprocessor in it, most likely. Or I don't know what Apple was using. It was some proprietary chip that they were using. I can't remember what they called it, though. But yeah, that's cool. I recorded in 1992, cannot do it now. Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm saying, like, if you kept on it, you could, but like back then, when you were writing code, the reason why I think you guys were better is because you had less storage to work with. You know, of course, if you were doing it today, you would know the code today and could do whatever you needed to do. And I guess just depending on what code, Visual Basic or C plus or all the different XML, I can't remember really what was being done back then. Yeah, so it's crazy. What year was that? That was 94. Yeah, that was 94. So we had cell phones. Well, they were analog. They weren't digital. They were analog. There was two signals. There was the A signal and B signal. Cellular One and all these private cell phone providers had one signal, and then their competitors had the other signal. And everyone sold phones. I actually had a business called Phones R Us, and I sold used phones, and I sold service. That was one of my first businesses. And I had these really funny commercials that were like, I had like Groucho Marx on a phone, and they were pretty funny. And at the end, my arms were all crazy, and I had like bleached white hair because I would let the roots grow out, and my hair would change colors. It was called Phones R Us. real clever with the name there, right? Yeah. So it was around 94 that I actually watched that movie. ZX81. I've heard of the ZX81, but I couldn't speak on it. That sounds so familiar. My first computer, my very, very first computer was a 286. But what was the dang it? What's the HP? It was a Hewlett Packard, but it wasn't called HP. It was called I think it was just Packard, or it was just Hewlett. I think, or was it a Gateway? I can't remember. No, the first computer I ever fixed was a Gateway 286, and that thing was slow. That was with the 96 baud modem, and this shit was crazy. Everything's running on here from Long Beach. Diane Hill from Long Beach. I just recently lived in Long Beach. I'm just saying, like, within the past few years, I've lived in Long Beach. I lived between Anaheim and 7th. One street down from Long Beach Boulevard. It was not a good neighborhood. But yeah, welcome from Long Beach. I love Long Beach. So I grew up in Redondo Beach. Torrance is where I grew up. I don't ever say those towns just because people are like, I just say LA because then people just know, okay, it's the LA area, but it's, and then Hollywood. I think we've talked about that, right? I know I've talked about that with somebody. Do you remember recording songs on a Sunday? In the top 4? Yes. 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 Yes, that is so awesome. I absolutely remember doing that. I remember that so vividly. I would wait for the song to hit play and record, and if you didn't get both buttons at the same time, and yeah, I used to do that all the time. Yeah, and then making mixtapes for your significant other. Yeah, man, those are good times. Yeah. You're going to get me really nostalgic right now. Really nostalgic. Um, those are good. Casey Kasem. That's when he was young, man. His voice sounded. If you listen to like from the beginning and the end of that, his voice was the same, but he, of course, we get older and our voices change. But do inmates have access to vapes in prison? Not in the feds. They don't. I know some counties that do. Some, county jails that do, and some states most likely do. The only reason why they don't sell tobacco in prison is because of medical. They can't afford to pay for, cancers and, treat those, and they don't want it like someone to get cancer while in prison from smoking, and then, hold the prison responsible, and then also the care of people who get sick from smoking. And Layla, dun, dun, dun. At Ohio State, one computer with virtually no memory, boxes and boxes of punch cards. Wow. My mom's brother went to Ohio State in probably around 1975. Yeah, I remember because we moved. I actually lived in Columbus for a little bit, or outside of Columbus in Delaware, Ohio. And we lived on this guy. He was a preacher. Dude, have we talked about this? Because I remember talking about Leroy Jenkins before. We lived on this preacher's property. He had a mansion up front, and we lived in his cottage in the back, and there was like a pond in between and we used to go to Mingo Park. There was a park called Mingo Park. This was like in 1973, 74, 75. So that was a long time ago for me to remember those things, but you remember things like that. And I went to the kindergarten I went to was called Conger. The school was called Conger. And I remember my teacher's name, and her name was Mrs. Schultz. And I loved Mrs. Schultz, like literally loved her. I wanted her to be my mom. I wanted her to be my friend. I wanted her probably to be my girlfriend. You know what I mean? When you loved your teachers back then, you don't know what those feelings are. You just know that you love them. When you're that at age, when you love a teacher, you just know you love them. And it's at the end of the year, it's sad. It's super emotional when you're a kid. And yeah, it's a trip. I rode the Tiger bus in kindergarten, noon class. That's cool. The cat says, "Hi, listen." No, I'm sorry, that's wrong one. Hey, V. McWilliams. Radio One in the '80s, best radio station in my teenage years. Jackie, sorry, I'm just reading messages. I didn't really get to interact with you guys yesterday, so I didn't prepare too much content for today because I just really wanted to like interact with you guys instead of me just babble along and present and justify things that I was doing and what others were doing. WMMS in Cleveland, 4:00 high, the radio. I don't know much about Cleveland, except I used to listen to an AM radio station there when I was in Terre Haute, Indiana. I used to, at night, I could pick up a radio station in Cleveland and I could catch the baseball games. And I would listen to baseball. So, question. Whoops. Wrong one. Question. Are we going to get to play games? ASAP wants to know. Yes. Yeah, we're going to play games. We're going to play my Germany or Florida, where I read a story and I'm going to keep score and people win shirts. And don't worry, those shirts are getting made this week or next week. And I will get the shirts shipped out for the first time from the first crew that did it. Kind of fell apart. So I'm going to send everyone a shirt. a Morning Mayhem shirt. But yeah, we play a game. It's called Germany or Florida. And whoever gets the most answers right wins a t-shirt. And I'll ship them a Morning Mayhem shirt. Kind of looks like this, right? We even have a theme song. And the theme song kind of goes like this. Let me get down to it. Gosh, so many things in here. And gee, I have so much stuff on here. And this is our Florida or Germany theme song.
Was made. A man wrestled a bear for his morning toast. Another found treasure along.
So that's basically it. That's our theme song. So it's just all the strange stories of the macabre and the strange all come out there, either Germany or Florida. I'll read the story. It'll be one or two. And whoever gets the most answers right wins a shirt. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I definitely had to work out the kinks. Yeah, there's lots of kinks last time. I mean, it was fun. We found out some good, funny stuff, and yeah. What's going on? What else is going on? You're going to like it ASAP. Hey, good morning, Pam. Good to see you. 6, 7, I was born in Germany. Back there when I was 15. Awesome. That's super cool. Alana was born in Germany. Question. You sound like a rock metal head. What music are you into? So I do love metal. I'm not a staunch metalhead like I used to be, I guess, or like that's all I listen to. But I also like prog rock, like Genesis, Yes, music like that. And then I really like. I like everything, but I always say, I think that's a cop out. So when I'm tattooing and I'm working on customer, I always be like, hey, what kind of music do you want to listen to? And they always say like, oh, it doesn't matter. I like a little bit of everything. Yeah, we all like a little bit of everything. I get it. So I guess that, and then I just say, well, like, okay, well, what music would you not want me to listen to? And it's inevitably country or rap, right? I either hear one of those two for the music that they absolutely don't want to hear while they're getting tattooed. I can't pick a favorite song, a best genre of music that I like, because I really do like a little bit of everything. But if I was to pick something that I had to listen to like for the rest of my life, it wouldn't be like heavy metal or thrash or hardcore. It might be like first gen punk or like outlaw country music, maybe something like that, or probably just something mellow jazz that would calm me down in those times that I would need calm down. I do like that British duet, like jazz style. I do love that. And if you guys are wondering what I mean by that, I can show you an example. I would have to go into my account, my Suno account, but I really like it. I really like it. Somebody asked what band did that song for you. It's actually AI wrote that song for me. It's a website called Suno. Oh, bless you. I did see your email about that there was a song there. I did not get a chance to listen to it. I just seen in the email this morning. But yes, it is a blast, Woofy. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Suno. Suno's the shit, man. Hi, Motherbird. Good to see you this morning. Janice Gilmore, good to see you. Tara Jackson, did I say good morning to you? Yes, I do like Orange County punk rock. Yes, huge Pennywise fan, Lagwagon, all of it. I have lots of stories about, Pennywise and being in the same parties and things with them, and Sublime for that matter. Not that they ran in the same circle, but they ran in the same circles I did. So yeah, pretty cool. One of my tattoos is a big memorial for Brad Knoll, who OD'd from heroin. And I have Long Beach tattoos, kind of like all of me. I spent a lot of time skating there. There was a lot of pools there, a lot of empty pools there. Hey, Theo Vaughn was just at the Casino Rama on Aurelia, Ontario, Canada. Much love and positive energy. Thanks, Karen Allen. Yeah, he was just here also in Little Billings, Montana. And I got sick and I wasn't able to go. And my wife didn't even really know who he was, but she went anyway, took her girlfriend, and they had a ton of fun. But, the next day in the newspaper, they were saying he was a racist and all that. So it was all bullshit. That's why I don't support any media here in Montana. I don't support at all. Yeah, Theo Vaughn is super funny. I do cover-ups. Come see me. I'm just hop, skip, jumping away. My friend Lori and I would sing their songs working together 5 years ago. Damn, that's cool. My friend Lori and I would sing their songs working together overnights at Walmart about 25 years ago. It's so funny. 25 years ago, I didn't even know Walmart existed. We didn't have. Yeah, I know Theo is not racist. Yeah, let me clarify that. Theo Vaughn is the exact opposite of racist, right? That's why I was like, what are you guys talking about? Because he came out, and people are ignorant, man. Because he came out and he was like, okay, I see a lot of white people here. Welcome to the meeting, right? That's all he said. That's all he said. And then, oh yeah, he was promoting the Ku Klux Klan, and come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, Carol, good morning to you. Thanks, hugs and prayers to you too. Yeah, dude, super crazy. And 3 bands I love. Have you heard them? Ren, Ghost, and Laura of Him. I have not. I've heard of Ren. I've not heard of the other 2. I just haven't. And the Sublime style is still straight from Long Beach. Absolutely. If you guys could see the way, I mean, you can never see the way I'm dressed because you just can't. You just see the top half. But everyone who meets me, they're like going, oh, that guy's from California. Yeah, that guy's from California. Especially when I come out of the gym and I'm like all like pumped up and I walk a little different, because the testosterone and my shoulders are all tight and big, and they just like, oh yeah, this guy's from California. My socks are pulled up high. I'm either in Vans or Converse. My Dickies are cut off like below the knee with tall socks, and Yeah, people always know I'm from California, and it's that Long Beach style. Even you know what's funny? Even in California, people know if you're from Long Beach. Like you can still dress the same, you know, like a cholo-esque white boy, whatever. But you can tell the white boys from East LA or the white boys from Long Beach. You can just tell. You can just tell. And they might be wearing the same exact thing, but you can still tell. There's just something about it. Yeah. It's kind of like knowing you know, you can't see wind, but you know it exists. You know, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but something like that, right? Um, it seemed to be handling the chat not too bad today. It's not as crazy as it was yesterday. I said, hold on to your free speech. Hold on to your free speech. What's going on in here? Whenever I see people talking about free speech, I think people are beefing. I hope not. Spokes Dexter, hey, I come across. Yeah, Tommy or restream. I didn't know you. Well, that was nice to say. Oh, and I am gonna do. I just want to let you know, guys. Know I did read a lot of the comments from yesterday. I am gonna do like a cool, funny pet trick at the end of every after the bar, starting tomorrow. Wasn't able to get one put together today. I have my daughter all week, and so it's super hard. It's gonna be super hard to get. Spring break has been crazy, Danette. And it's only day 2. It's been crazy. I never should have set her up with Kids Messenger. I don't know whose idea that was, but it was a terrible idea. My email is insidethemindx@gmail. And I'm interested in all stories. You'll see once we get going that there's lots of stories and commentary. It'll be lots of fun. Just reading through. I love Long Beach. I used to go to the aquarium. Yeah, I used to work right by the aquarium. Boom, boom. Jamie Palmer says, I have a tattoo plan in my head, a collage of small tattoos of things I love, hate. I want it to be a sleeve going up from my wrist, left arm. I'm nervous but excited to start it. Where are you from? And I'll tell you who the good artists are in that city or town. He was a pro? His name was Kelly from Long Beach? Huh. Did not know. I did show a picture of me to go into my photos. Oh man, do you guys remember with that one time I was looking for that photo? And I looked for a long time. I couldn't find it. I found it the other day. Sure did. And yay, I found it. This was me in the 90s. Look at that guy. I should just put it up. Or that's like the late 80. That's when I cut off all my hair. I cut off all my hair and decided not to have like really long hair anymore. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to send it to my computer. I just really love this picture because it says a lot. It really does. It says a lot because when you see all the alcohol behind me, that's all I did. Worked, drank. The cool thing about StreamYard is, though, they added an image viewer now, which is super, super cool. They didn't have that before. Oh, wow. I got some cool images in here. Yeah, I'm just getting a couple pictures to share. Let's be like a get to know me. Get to know you guys. Here's a picture of me skating. This was like in 2015. I'm doing a pop shove it. I love that picture. And I did not land it, by the way, in that picture. I mean, I've landed it before, but I did not land that one. And then here's a picture of me. This is circa 92. I'm just a baby there. I still kind of have my like teenage acne a little bit, but I had cystic acne. I love true crime and law stuff too, and that's basically Nat B what we're going to be doing. All true crime, all law stuff. And I am monitoring Judge Fleischer to see if we get anything cool right now. Yeah, that was a cool year. I know, I look so young. Yeah. Yeah. I thought I was Johnny Depp back then. Look, I mean, why am I hanging my jacket off my shoulder? Who does that? Oh, you guys need to take a picture? Hold on. Let me get my jacket hung off my shoulder. That was a Guess leather jacket, though. That jacket was super badass. Super badass. And I can't remember what that lanyard was from. I think I had backstage to something that night. It was something. Buddy of mine probably got us tickets or something. But see all that alcohol? That's like, you know, I get it. You got a bottle of vodka, a bottle of, bourbon, maybe a bottle of tequila. Like I have that's lined up. There's like the Jim Beam. There's 3 bottles of Jim Beam. The Crown Royal. There's 4 bottles of Crown Royal. The Jose Cuervo. There's 2 bottles of that. There's a bottle of Stoli, a bottle of Absolute Vodka, 2 bottles of Absolute Vodka. And I lived by myself in that apartment. That was just my little apartment by myself. I graduated in 86. But you know what I mean? Why did I have so much alcohol? And I'm drinking a beer, a Grolsch. And you can see the empty bottles of Grolsch behind me. I mean, I'm sure I was probably had some people over before the show or something, but yeah. But I love that picture, man. It reminds me of just and I didn't have a lot of confidence. I pretended to have a lot of confidence, and I guess that's almost like having confidence, right? But yeah, I wasn't a very confident guy. And you know what's funny? I don't even notice them in the pictures, but I have these scars on my face right here. And when at that age, I thought those scars were like out to here. Do you know what I mean? It felt like something that like this that was like sticking out of my face. But now that I look at the pictures, those were nothing. They didn't look like anything. When I talked about it back then, people were probably like going, "Dude, you got body dysmorphia." They probably did think that because like I used to talk about it all the time. I'd meet a girl and that's the first thing I'd talk about. Oh, I know I'm ugly. Look at these scars on my face. They're probably like, what? No, buddy, you got a low self-esteem. But yeah, and you're right. Chicks do dig scars. Every chick said that. My first wife, I told her I was going to get it removed. She was like, the fuck you are? You ain't getting shit removed. Excuse the F-bomb. Yeah, she's like, you're not getting anything moved. Jamie Palmer says, I never drank, but my grandfather drank after World War II. My dad drank after Vietnam. I wanted to break the cycle. Wow, that's pretty awesome. My dad was an alcoholic, and he was also in Vietnam. But he quit when he was 50. He quit drinking. He never beat me. He spanked me twice with a belt, and I talked about one of those times here. But he never beat me or anything. He didn't abuse my mom. My mom abused him. They got divorced twice to each other. Remarried, divorced. Good morning, feisty kitty. I almost said feisty kitty. Feisty kitty. Oh yeah, I definitely grew to enjoy my scars in my these like lines above my head. I've had these since the 3rd grade because I've always done this. So like those little indents. I literally have had them since the 3rd grade. I had a principal pull me in to yell at me about something one time, and I sat back in the chair. I was like in the 3rd or 4th grade, and I sat back in the chair, crossed my legs, and just looked at him. He looked at me. He was like, there's something about you. He's like, I don't know what it is, but if you keep doing that, you're going to have scars on your face. That little scowl. And I was like, I don't know, bud. Hey, good morning, Cooler by the Lake. Hey, Nicole, I tried that acne spray in my 30s. I thought you said in the 30s. I was like, wow. But in my 30s, that's how long I struggled with acne. I did what probably every kid did, Accutane for acne. And it worked miracles. But I rode a motorcycle at the time I did Accutane. And my face would get so dry because you would have to use Lubriderm and put it on your face. And yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, my dad's first marriage was rough because he drank. It did not end well, but once he stopped drinking, it was like night and day. I never knew my dad was as an alcoholic. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool when people can get it on their own, I couldn't do it on my own. I tried multiple times. And then when I wasn't doing it on my own, I tried to do it, I tried to change their program and work my own program, and of course that's trying to do it on your own again, right? Take their program and switch the steps around and, hey, Big Sam, big love from Scotland. Hey, Spokes Dexter. Big love from Scotland. I loved making mixtapes, having to rewind the cassette with the pencil. Kids do not know. Yeah, man. Rewinding cassettes with a pencil, you get pretty good at it, And then when they came out with the tape players do you guys remember this? Or how about this? I'll even go one step further back. And so a lot of you guys aren't going to remember this. Do you remember? Of course, everyone remembers 8-track tapes. Do you remember being at a certain point in a song on one track and knew if you switched it to another track, it would be at the beginning of the song you liked? Do you guys remember that? Always More Cowbell. I love Christopher Walken. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. I would play that clip, but NBC dings me every time I play something from SNL. They ding me, and I can't dispute them anymore, or else I'll get a copyright strike. But yeah, I love that. But yeah, who remembers that? The 8-track tape, when you would get to a certain part of a song, and if you click the track, it would be at one of the songs that you liked, you know. Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, with the cassette tape, remember when they finally came out the cassette players that you wouldn't have to take the tape out, you could just hit reverse and it would turn it the other way and it would play the other side of the cassette. That was game changing too. Game changing. Hold on, I just seen a milestone. Coming up on 3 years. Yay! Where's my goat? We don't do trophies here. My only trophy would be Abe Lincoln. Yay for sobriety. Right. Why is it whenever I need my goat, I can never find my goat? That's what I want to know. Hazley loves playing with my goat. She loves to get my goat. Well, that's awesome. You're coming up on 3 years. You know what we can do? Because I definitely do want to have something for we'll just do a cheer. Should we do this one? Yeah, let's do that one. That'll be our alcohol free. I'm gonna rename it. Or our sobriety. Milestone. Yay. That one's way better. All right, quit it. But good for you, just saying. I know, right? Just a little green. Hey, Reese, how's it going? Good to see you this morning. Walker actually hates that everyone goes to cowbell. Yeah, that would suck because Deer Hunter is one of my favorite movies of all time, right? Yeah, could you imagine being Christopher Walken, and be like, "Yeah, more cowbell." Oh my god, that would suck. Hey, ASAP Lizzie, you probably weren't a viewer when I talked about this movie, but it's called At Close Range with Christopher Walken and Sean Penn. Probably hands down that's my best. I don't want to call it my favorite Christopher Walken movie because, I mean, he's in Deer Hunter and King of New York and Pulp Fiction, right? But definitely great movie. I suggest everyone go watch it on one of the first shows, or it might even have been just one of the shows I was on the Lifeboat as a guest. Yeah, it was. He's great in that movie. He's great in all the movies. But yeah, that would suck, man. I bet he regrets doing it. I don't think he's got many regrets though, but yeah, I watched some interviews with him. I might have them. I think on one of the first after the bars, I played some interviews with him, like little bits and pieces, man. He's just a beast, man. He's a beast. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about At Close Range. Yeah, that's when Sean Penn met Madonna and they had their little tryst. Yeah, big hugs, Reese. Good morning, Heather Marie Houston, we have an issue. Love that movie. Makes me cry every time. Are you talking about At Close Range? If it makes you cry every time, actually, what's special about this comment, guys, is that there's been an every time, right? That you've watched it more than once. Good job. HC from the LBC. Look, I have LBC tattooed on my arm. Can you see it? It's in those letters right there. You can barely see it in the garbage tattoos that I have. I had this big Green Mile black guy come up to me one time in LA County Jail, right? I got my shirt peeled, I'm walking. And he goes, "Hey, homeboy, come over here." And I was like, "What's up, man?" This dude was big, dude. So, like I'm walking like, trying to be tough. And I walk up to him and, I can start going like this, like, "Whoa, what's up, dude?" He's like, "Man, you a Crip?" Dude, I have a big racial political tattoo on my chest. He's like, "Yo, man, you a Crip?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm not a Crip." He's like, "Why you got Long Beach Crips on you?" I was like, "Man, that's not Long Beach Crips. That's Long Beach, California, bro. You guys stole it from us." He just started laughing. "Cracker, you crazy, man. Get out of here, man. Get out of here." I was like, "Yeah, peace out, Green Mile." Yeah, I was gone, man. That's good. See you later, buddy. Do not eat me. That dude's gonna eat me, man. Yeah, but that's cool. That means you've watched it multiple times. Yeah, it is a sad movie. It's a true story too. It's about the Whitewood gang from out of Kentucky. I read that whole case. That whole case is crazy. That whole case is crazy. Speaking of movies, I have a list of movies I want to watch. Any suggestions? Oh, Jamie, don't get me started. Don't get me started, man. There's so many movies, but really what's more that there's like some really good TV shows that are out there that are like better than movies. Maybe they were talking about Deer Hunter as a tearjerker. I don't know what Justin thinks of it. I think, yeah, I just never know what anyone's talking about. Sean Penn and Madonna were the hottest couple back then. They were, man. Do you remember that? Heather Marie? They were, man, paparazzi. And this is like when the paparazzi was just first starting to like get traction, to where like they were realizing that if they took pictures of people, they could sell them to tabloids. You know what I mean? That's probably like right. I mean, there's always been paparazzi, but like that's when it was really starting to get some action. I love The Equalizer too, Pam. And good morning. Let's see. Rambo's a great movie. Rocky's a great. Oh man, Pam. I think you might be a Sylvester Stallone fan. Like right after another Rambo, Rocky. That's badass. But here's the deal. He didn't write Rambo. I know the author that wrote that, but he wrote Rocky. So wrap your head around that. A lot of people don't know that he wrote that movie, and he got all the financing for that movie and put that movie. Dude, Sylvester Stallone is a genius. Like all his millions and everything, he just wasn't discovering he's a shitty actor. No, he's not a shitty actor. It's just, it's a different style of acting. And it's just his, he like developed his own thing. Like he didn't leave it to chance to do what he loved. He's like, no, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to get people to get on board with me. And I'm going to get them to finance it. And I'm going to star in it. And I wrote it. Man, it's amazing, dude. Ryan Reynolds can't say that. You know what I mean? I don't know of anyone that can say that besides maybe Ben Affleck and his buddy Matt Damon. They kind of did that. Oh, what's his name did it too from oh, That's Money. That's Money. What's the name of that movie? And he played Monica's boyfriend in Friends. What's that dude's name? You guys are the smartest. Tommy told me when I first started hanging out with you guys that you guys, if all I would have to do is say it, and then you guys would come up with it. Brooks was the man. Did anyone come up with it yet? Wait, what was it? You guys talking about Mel Brooks? Remember, Brooks was the man in Shawshank. Oh, who hung himself because he was institutionalized. Yeah, I was gonna watch Shawshank the other day. Selleck? No, not Tom Selleck. The other boyfriend. I think it was Monica's boyfriend. But he was in the movie. No, not Schwimmer, not Perry. No, he wasn't a cast member. But he was he was definitely Monica's boyfriend in there. But he was also, he's a writer, director, actor. Watch, I bet you it wasn't Monica's boyfriend, but he played one of the boyfriends. Not Matthew Perry. Rest in peace, Matthew. Did Chris Isaac make a guest appearance on that? Where is James Collins Cares, by the way? Yes, Swingers. He's in Swingers. Yeah, Swingers is the movie. And I want to get back to damn, Monica had a lot of boyfriends in there, right? Because someone's put up Kevin Costner too. But yeah, Swingers is the movie. He wrote him, was in it, and all the things. Dude, why are people calling me this morning? But yeah, he was all part of that. Matt Damon is in a ton of great movies. Yes, Jon Favreau. Thank you so much. ASAP Lizzie in for the win. Jon Favreau. Hoboken 2. Oh, he was a dentist. Was he a dentist in that? Yeah, Vince Vaughn. So Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau were partners, and you guys could always feel free to correct me if I ever give out some misinformation, because I have a lot of Hollywood information in my head, and it's sometimes it intertwines with other stories and information. So if I get it wrong, just correct me. Like, no, idiot. Jack Geller. Boy, it's you guys. I love participating in the chat. Man, I wish I had a what was I gonna say? Hey Ruth, how's it going? He seemed a little burned. Like burnout. Who took his wrench away? But he shouldn't be burned to come on my show. But that's right. Maybe he's just taking a break, which is fine, man. You can get take a break. It's YouTube, man. I know whenever if I don't say if I stay home all day and I'm doing YouTube stuff, and then the next day I do YouTube stuff all day, and I realize, well, man, I haven't left the house. And then I go outside and I'm just like, oh man, I got to get away from YouTube for a little bit, because outside is awesome. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I don't want to say I don't know why James would even want to stay over there, because James has a history with those guys, and he might be part of trying to help repair I don't mean the boat, but repair hearts and sobriety. Maybe people are trying to get into treatment and things like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying nobody knows. So James is always welcome here. I didn't take his wrench away here. I mean, I could see a picture of him and Tommy out to dinner laughing with friends, and I wouldn't take his wrench away or not be his friend. Yeah. Okay, what else is going on? Man, every time I look over at this guy, because now I just gotta look over and it's nothing. It's like this guy doesn't even see people anymore. Like, see,
Bond, I called 9 different places in 3 different agencies. I fail to believe that nobody could fail to pick up. Called the DA's office, called the judge's office, or the chambers, called the admin. The DA's office has at least 12 ADAs I can think of. I fail to believe that there isn't anybody that can pick up the phone. Called the sheriff's office, called the sheriff's office fugitive line, called the extradition line.
I mean, when I was doing my own gig, I remember calling DA's office and never getting an answer
Sure,
to
for the
it.
small, this has enough.
Emailing, never getting a
He's bitching and
response.
complaining.
All the different agencies, especially for the 24/7, the one that's supposed to confirm the warrant on, that's the one I'm most troubled by, because that's the one they're supposed to call, have someone 24/7 to verify.
Hey, do you guys have any
Yeah.
trials you want
How
to
much-
watch?
So
Anything
because
you
it's
guys
an
want to do
FTA, I
like
was able
that?
to find.
Like, we can do
clerk's
stuff during the
records
day
on the
too,
judgment
like at
roll is
1
that
o'clock,
about a
2
year
o'clock,
after the
3 o'clock,
FTA, they found a
Wow.
judgment against the
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
the defendant for 20,000 state moves for a $10,000 bond. Because it is an FTA. She did appear, stated that she would reappear, and then she did.
Judge, I'm asking
John, what did we tell you
for
about the caps? Just kidding. I don't.
$1,500. She's a college
If it
student.
bugs other
She's
people, just
Uber. From my understanding, she does not have any
Is a college student?
late bloomer judge. A late bloomer, Southern University, Baton Rouge. From my understanding, she does not have, but for this case, any other criminal history or contact with the,
They no other criminal
That's
history.
not true, except for the judgment.
So was she on probation or is this an
We
open?
are gonna
It's
have Lloyd's out
just an
trial.
FTA, which is why there was a judgment roll.
You can
because they
count on
call it a
that.
Judgment roll against her for the
Oops,
forfeiture.
wrong
of
one.
the
Guys, do you mind bringing up the
Yes,
state?
Ghost Rider,
It's
611.
states, right? 111? Yeah. You don't mind, just real quick. Tell me, hey, how are you, man?
Good, Judge. How are you?
Living the dream.
Yes, sir. I think on Mr. Power Hill.
Oh, okay.
May I call her up?
Yeah, please.
Here we go. We got a case, guys. We got a case. Ding, 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 ding.
We got Judge.
Did it be a what?
It's straight information offer on a DWI.
No, didn't want to do or was it not office?
And then it was, injury to somebody else for a leg or something, so.
Okay. All right. Ms. Hill, you were charged with driving while
Do you guys
intoxicated.
all know
You're
my
facing up
stance
to
on
6
drinking
months
and
in
driving,
jail
right?
and
I'm
a
gonna
$2,000 fine.
go over that
You
here in a
guys have
minute.
worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated for 12 months. As part of this agreement for you to successfully complete this, you must do a DWI education class, 3 victim impact panels. You must also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see if you need other conditions. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill those as well. No drugs, no alcohol, no breath test refusal, meaning if you're pulled over in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. If you don't, you're in violation of this probation. No drugs, no alcohol, interguardian interlock. Is this how you understand it?
yes,
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen or a possible immigration consequence, you can be deported,
Ooh, we
excluded
got
from the
2
country to
cases coming up.
non-naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this, this is a contract that we're entering into. You either complete it successfully. If you don't, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You're looking at 180 days in jail. Do you understand?
yes, sir.
You must do stuff on time. The other thing you need to understand that this DWI will go on your record. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. The other thing is this, is if you get pulled over, I don't care if it's today, tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years, officers will see that you have a prior DWI. If you smell like alcohol, it's probably
that-
not going to go well
That
for you. So I would
testimony
never,
was,
even if
uh,
whatever you're doing, even have a sip of wine, I wouldn't get into a car. It's a huge risk. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Now, I'm going to find you guilty. I will follow the agreement, sentence you to it. What do you do for a living, man?
Judge, if I may before we get to that, regarding the interlock, she does not have a car.
Let's get some prayers in
She's
for
not
everyone who's
driving.
got a
She's been
headache right
operating
now.
under a no driving
And I don't say that
affidavit. I asked her
jokingly.
today if she's gonna get a car. I think she's still scared to get behind the wheel of the car. Chief said that we can talk about that condition here today.
Okay, so you need to understand that if you're not gonna drive, then, I mean, we're not gonna put an interlock if you're not gonna drive, but you must have a portable device. You have to understand though, is that we send orders to DPS in Austin so that every officer in the state knows that if you get pulled over, you're driving a car, you're supposed to have an interlock. If you don't, they're going to arrest you on the spot. So when you say that you're not going to drive, I really, really hope you're not driving, because if you do, it's just not going to go well for you. Do you understand? You will be signing an affidavit with us today, promising us you're not going to drive while you're on this probation. If you do eventually get a car and you want to, you can. I'm not going to suspend your license today. So I don't know about the ALR hearing, but if you have a license, the only restriction you have is you must have an interlock. So if you want to, you let us know, let your probation officer know, you get the interlock, and then you're free
Our
to
natural
drive.
ginger.
But
Have a great
don't drive
day.
until you get permission. You understand? So what do you do for a living?
I do citizen work with customer service for health insurance.
The reason I'm asking you this, ma'am, is that there is a $3,000 surcharge that is normally tacked on to DWIs. It's huge business in the state. Anytime you pick up a DWI, it costs you a lot of money. We all make mistakes, but if you continue to, well, you endanger other people's lives. It gets so much worse. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm going to waive the $3,000 fee that normally would apply to you. You pick up another DWI though, it's a $6,000
Knife hoarder in the house.
fee. Do you understand? Not to mention a minimum of 30 days in jail. Just don't get into a car. It's really easy. Even if you've had a sit. That's it. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck to you, man. Thanks,
Thank you, Your
man.
Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So reduce it, and then we'll kill the 3,000, and then run the court costs as well. All right.
Okay,
Good
we'll
luck,
watch
Ms.
this
Hill.
next hearing and then
Thank you.
we'll get back
Okay,
to.
coming up, man. How's Jen? Really? It's good? Fun?
No, it's really not, but I'm blessed to be alive.
Well, that's a good attitude to have. That really is, because it could be a lot worse. You could always be 6 feet under, right?
Right.
Your
Are
lawyer is
you
asking me to set
rebanning
you a
us
bond, but
now?
I'm really concerned.
And if
This
so,
case is
why?
very
No
old.
one's
You've
rebanning
been
anybody.
out
Truth in
literally-
heat.
She's been on the land for 10 years, Dave?
Well, the warrant was on November 9, 2015 for.
I mean, I didn't ban
For this one,
anybody.
Judge.
I don't ban
But the
people.
surrender for the judgment roll was on, well, actually, the enrollment date was February 16th, but the surrender notice to file was April 2020. So I don't know what kind of efforts they went, but the actual forfeiture date was in 2015.
Do we know, do they really want, are they gonna
I
come?
mean, that's like with the other ones, I can only confirm the initial teletype confirming that the warrant is valid and they do still want her.
We've tried to reach out to, I'm sorry, Mr. Kim has tried to reach out to the demanding jurisdiction to see how serious of a case is it? Are they really gonna come back? But he's been unable to reach anyone. And I mean, it's only been
Okay,
30,
I'm sorry,
45
guys.
minutes, so.
I'm going to stop this for a
Um,
second. So there's going to be no banning people. So I apologize for that. So whoever's banning people, just please stop. I mean, we're just going to let people have a voice as long as people are respectful to each other. I'm new to this stuff. But banning people seems drastic if they're talking. I mean, people are welcome to stick up for each other and others. And if I feel like someone needs to be stuck up for, I'll stick up for people. So that's where we're gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. And then I'll go through the chat and see what's going on. If someone wants to send me an email, a moderator, if they're banning people, state your reasons why or case why, and then I'll talk to you about it. But as it stands, I don't think anyone should be banned. I'll just go right in and unban them. I figured out how to do that yesterday. And oh yeah, I do have. Remember I said that there's a see, it's hard to, like, I have a video that I want to share of something, but I don't want it to tip my hand either. So I don't know. Why do you think we don't like you? Will you send me an email so I have your email address? Okay. All right. Not to sound like cryptic or anything like that. Or Truth to Heat. Anyone, send me an email. And it's nothing against anybody here. I just don't want to say it live because of people who might be watching. All right. We'll leave it at that. This poor lady looks like she is not enjoying jail. InsideTheMindX@gmail.com. And it looks like we're experiencing issues with the stream. He streams through IBM, so sometimes it's finicky.
They don't come get you within the 14 days. We release you. They file a dismissal. I sign it, and then they let you go. If that happens, the warrant will always remain active, and that warrant will
Knife
always remain
2
active
was
until you
deleted.
physically go back or somehow go back to Louisiana and take care of it. That said, if you want
I
to make
took it
this
off
bond,
the
you have to
ban list.
withdraw
There were 3
that
things
waiver
up
that
there.
you have,
Truth to
and then
Heat,
you lose
Knife
those
Order
6
2,
days.
and
So
something else.
if you withdraw it
And I
or
removed them
withdraw it
from
and you
the
don't
ban
make the
list.
bond, you lose all that time, and you basically it's
Start over.
told until you re-waive or you make that bond.
AKP and AZ.
I only say this because of the nature of the case and the fact that I didn't know she had counsel in Mississippi. It's very, very rare, but I have been seeing it happen here and then, or here and there, is if local counsel there can get a new setting date. Like I said, it's incredibly rare. I can count on one hand the amount of times it's happened.
What do you mean get a new setting date?
So even if they don't appear with sufficient evidence from our sheriff's office that she's in our custody and her persons is here, and for a variety of factors, I can't speak to Mississippi because I'm not licensed there and I don't work there, is whatever sufficient factors they have to set a new date for her to self-surrender versus outside of the fugitive, they'll recall the warrant. So like I said, it's incredibly, incredibly rare, but only because of the age of the warrant and the fact that she has counsel there.
But we don't know that.
Well, but I'm saying if the information for that counsel can be sent to.
I mean, I'm not going to give you a PR bond. This case is 10 years old. You've been I need you to understand that we mean business. I'm not here to play games. And so that's why we have to set it sufficiently high so that you realize that you have to have skin in the game so that we know that you're going to go back.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys talk about it. I don't want you to make a decision here
For
in front
now,
of
right?
everybody. So you guys talk about it. You know, I'm not stuck on the 5,000. I go back down a little bit. But
Fuck,
it's
that's
not going to be
funny.
much, you know. But
Oy
I'll stand
vey.
down. Thank you, Judge.
so
Yeah.
and so
Yes, sir.
I'll let you guys go talk.
Okay,
I
sir.
don't want you to say something here that you might invariably regret because it's in front of everyone, you know? Okay. please.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
I'll go
Judge.
down some, you know, but a reasonable amount.
I'm Jonah.
Okay, Game Jackie. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate
What's
it.
up, man? How are you?
Come back tomorrow, please.
You got me beat,
If
but
you
I'm trying.
want to, I
I guess
guess.
you can say that. I have a plea set for tomorrow for in Oliverio
I
Yaxcal.
definitely don't want rudeness in the chat.
But
I mean,
what happened is that I had a call from
You,
Hardin
you can
County.
say,
One of my clients over there has an MAJ for 3 felonies.
I don't
The
know.
only
I don't
issue is,
know.
like,
I'm
they
gonna have
just
to
let me
like
know last minute,
figure
and they only
this
have
out, you
those
know,
type of hearings once a
pray
month.
on it, you know,
So
do
they asked me
whatever I
if I
do
can
to
be there
like
tomorrow,
make decisions,
and I'm
but
just asking Your Honor if you could just roll in for the next day.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
If you're okay, then we can finish it on Thursday. It's just I can be here tomorrow, but it won't be.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't stress.
Well, Hardin County is far away. Yes, sir. Thank you so
Have
much.
fun.
Thank you.
Love.
yeah, so the Menendez brothers, I'm definitely I want to cover that. Man, those guys are really close to getting out. I really feel those guys are really close to getting out. I never talked to anybody in California system that was even around those guys. But you know, I watched that documentary. And you know, they've done their time, even if they were guilty of what they did, or they were guilty of what they did, but for whatever reasons that they did what they did, they've been down a really, really long time. I remember being in high school and that all going down, and you know, everyone tripping out and freaking out, and so yeah, it's crazy. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, Nana? Up to? We don't need to know about whose cases. Why it's not, but Sam. I don't want to get into anything on this channel. I just want to like watch court and, you know, do Florida and Germany and have fun. That's all I want to do. What we're watching is a recent case. This is right now. It's live. What we're watching right now is live. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I check in with this guy while he's
Are you
live
okay with
streaming.
that?
He doesn't live stream on
Yeah.
YouTube, so you know, sometimes he's really good. When he's on fire, he's on fire. It's crazy. So yeah, I like to like watch him, check him out. Yeah, have fun, move forward. HMF. Question: would you consider doing a deep dive into the OJ trial? Yeah, I mean, I know everything there is to know about the OJ trial, like really everything there is to know. And like all the weird stuff with him and the people he had around him at the time, and I do believe there was multiple people involved in that night, not just him. So yeah, I am on her show. Why don't you ask RR about BM on her show? Yeah, there you go. I've seen you list Brett's name. Do you have a platform? Maybe you should do it there. I think most of us have moved past that. Yes, all of that. All these comments that I'm seeing is how I'm feeling. But I get it. Knife for Truth to Heat, you know, they might still have some beefs. And you know, they're gonna probably drop in and say their piece. And I do like the idea of being Switzerland, but I know not everyone's going to agree with that. People are probably going to want me to ban people and you know, and it's not about like, oh, like, no, I don't want to ban Knife Order and Truth to Heat because that's two people, you know, that'd be watching it. No, I just want, I want there to be, this sounds so gay saying it, and I don't mean that in like a politically correct, non-politically correct way. I just mean, it's just, you know, we used to be able to say that back in the day. Is that I just want peace, you know, I want peace on my platform, and I want and I want understanding, and maybe a conversation could be had in the chat, but some people might not want to like participate in having that conversation, and they don't have to stay, and listen to it. But like Gamer Jackie's like, I'm out of here. And I like Gamer Jackie. Do I know her personally? No. Do I know Knife Hoarder and those guys personally? No. But it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. I'm just trying to like just move forward. Any thoughts on the West Memphis 3 case? I've heard of that case. What do I know about that case? West Memphis 3. They're cops, right? Are they cops? Sounds like cops. Whenever they list 3, well, it's either cops or people that have AR'd somebody. The Brooks trial was ugly. It was hard to watch. Yeah, Heather Marie Houston, I agree with what you're saying. Just because you don't like someone, it doesn't mean they have to be banned. But it's just like even like Truth to Heat saying, "Oh, are we going to get banned now? If so, why?" Who's banning? Who's saying banning you? I never said I was going to ban people. And I get it. You were asking the chat, I guess, but I think that until all the facts are out there, there will not be peace. There are still victims of both of theirs who have been destroyed. We can't ignore who's been destroyed. Like, if there's facts out there, let's get to the facts. Who's been destroyed? And if there's facts that need to be out there, here's a platform to present the facts. Dude, I wanted to say I do love your. Did I tell you this yesterday? I love the Jeff's hat, and my wife is obsessed with your songs. She showed me another one too. Oh, can someone please give me the link for the there's like a video, and it's like of Adolf with his people, and they're talking about Marissa is coming to Tucson. I wanted to show that video to someone. Just how it was edited was really good, and yeah. So if someone could give me that, that would be awesome. They can email it to me. I'm not gonna lie, it's my wife wants to see it because I was just telling her how brilliant it was. Just like the way it was edited, and the overdubs and the voicing. Because she sits here and watches me edit videos all day long. And it's insidethemindx@gmail. I looked for it everywhere. Hey Elaine, how are you today? John, you're banned. That's it. Anyone who says please don't ban me, banned. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing. Like if those guys coming in and it starts to like destroy like the flow of the show, then yeah, that like I don't want to have that, and then that would be a reason to ban for me, and that would be the only reason. And then we can watch shorts about how I'm a piece of shit after that. But that's what I would ask. Please don't disrupt the show. I mean, I could always just ignore their chats too, and that would be on me to do. So we'll just play it by ear. But you guys, Truth to Heed, Knife Hoarder, please don't come in and try to like fuck up the show. You know what I mean? Because that's not fair to me either. You know. I looked at True Clear Media. These are on True Clear Media. Is there two? True Clear Media TCM? Okay, I only looked at the TCM one. All right, thank you so much, man. Or I don't know if you're male or female, but thank you so much. Comment. I feel like with news channels, let's please keep the drama to certain channels. If we want to view the drama, we'll go there. Otherwise, some of us really need a space without the drama. I love that. I love that. And I do want to be a news channel. I have myself categorized as the news channel. Even though today we're just kind of playing it light. But I do want to just be like a morning news fun channel. So this is thank you, Bless. I appreciate that. But if anything makes you uncomfortable, email me, please. We've already been emailing each other, so. I first just sent emoji. No emojis. Would you ever cover the depth trial? Like recover it? No, I don't think so. I would do highlights of it though, because that's the only reason to watch it, right? Is for those highlights. When he told everyone he was doing coke, yeah, that was so funny. That was pretty funny. Question: Are you avoiding my question? Question: Are you avoiding my question? What question is that, Heather? Not avoiding. I never will avoid. I never will avoid a question. I promise you. If I don't get to a question, it means I didn't see it. So now I'm going to have to go back. Your last thing I see it says, it was awesome. I see a comment from Little Miss Sunshine. If you ever have time, please watch Gift of Love with Daniel Hackman. Okay. Why don't you resend your question that I'm avoiding? And then we can go from there. Is that cool? I don't ever avoid. I hate that word. So I'm going to wait here. For the avoided question. Hey, Holly Grace, how's it going tonight? Good to see you. Exactly. Have you heard anything about the Karen Reed case? I was just watching it while we were watching the there's some motion hearings today. I played some of them last week. They weren't that interesting. While we were watching Fleischer, I was watching some of the Karen Reed stuff to see about the racist tattoos. Is it still part of your life? No, it is not still part of my life. That's why I talk about it. I don't have to admit it. I don't have to admit that I have one. It's absolutely no part of my life. I would suggest maybe going and I'm not saying this with any malice at all. Going and watching my testimony video, right? And also you can. I have interviews all over YouTube. You can find where I've been interviewed. No, it is not part of my life. And it never was like, that's not a cop out. I would tell you, yeah, I was a hell of a racist. I hated everybody. No, I just never did. It wasn't, I was showing some solidarity with some people in federal prison. You got to remember, people were getting killed in there. And I don't say that to be dramatic, but people were getting killed in there. And I didn't need their protection. I could have been independent. But the guys who I was working out with and was hanging out with and drinking with and getting high with, they were in a certain group. And so I became a part of that group. But rather than me do a 2-hour testimony so you can understand why, I'm half Mexican. You know what I mean? My mom's Mexican. My dad was a hillbilly. They met when my dad was in Vietnam. They were pen pals. So yeah, I wish, yeah, but I get it. I mentioned it and you were just asking about it. But that's it would be awesome. It'd be awesome if you could, see that, then you know a little bit more about me. And, yeah, I'm not even offended about you asking about that at all. Not even a little bit. I'd want to know. I'd be like, whoa, wait, am I watching is this like a dog whistling skinhead podcast? Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Yeah. So no, I appreciate your question. Thanks. Question. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam. My questions are, how long have you been sober? And tell us a little. Also, who recorded and who wrote the Florida or Germany song? That was an AI generated song. And man, I wish I had it like that. Now, I do have a brother that does like record and tour with bands and stuff like that. And he would write me music like that if I asked him to. But you know, he's busy. He's always on a cruise somewhere playing. He does a lot of tribute band music, and then tours with his personal band. I think he has tours with his personal bands. Hey, James, good to see you, brother. Hell yeah. Welcome to Switzerland. We have become Switzerland for now, I guess. For now. We're just trying to have fun. Anyways, guys, not an exciting show. Tomorrow will be the 100% Morning Mayhem Show. We will start off with newscasts. I am thinking about moving it to 9:30, so we can have more of the Great Britain and viewers participate in more of just the end of the show. I think that would be great. So that would be super cool. Thanks, Margaret. How are you doing today? Thank you for the. Oh, I didn't see the end. Yeah, I mean that seems to be the warning I get is to stay away from Reese. I don't do anything with her, but I'm not saying I wouldn't do anything with her. We're just, you know, everything's still new and raw, and I'm not trying to be wishy-washy on everything, but I'm not going to take a stance on something I don't know anything about. Do you know what I mean? When I finally decided to take a stance against Tommy, I had plenty of information and have lots more information, but it doesn't, the more information I have doesn't affect anybody, you know? So, and I'm just going to save it in case, you know, I have to defend myself or someone else, you know. If we're just this is the last day, man. I'm telling you right now, this is the last effing day I'm talking about any of this. It's so old already. I get it. There's victims out there. Well, like, who are the victims? Come out, say your piece. You know, I'm not saying on my platform, say like, hey, I'm a victim of this. This is the evidence I have. And then you guys can all beef on that on other platforms. like Reese isn't here as my co-host. So I just don't really feel like I don't see why there would be any reason for people to come into the chat and make random statements, you know, either pro Reese or against Reese. So I just, but if you want to do that, you can do that. Like we are like a news channel. That's what I want to be, a morning news show, news channel, current affairs, current events, and then recovery. Well, really recovery first. So like, and what I mean by that is kind of like what Brett would say, you know, it's like I'll stop the show for anything recovery related. I'll stop the show. So if someone needs help with that. So anyways, guys, I love you guys. I'm going to call it quits. I really appreciate you. I hope you come back tomorrow. I really do. For another fun-filled episode of Morning Mayhem. Have a good